When I was 5, one of my first memories was of being at lakes and rivers and seeing thousands of little pebbles. They were really pretty and fit perfectly like a puzzle with all the other pebbles. And now that I think about it, I am kind of like a pebble in a lake of millions. A pebble that whenever it moves or does anything, it's not just it moving. The entire lake moves. I affect millions.
Climate is always changing.
Reducing our carbon emissions overall.
There's been days in China where you can't tell where the sun is in the sky.
Everything here is for the seventh generation ahead of us.
Global temperature is growing at a rapid rate.
I never really knew when I was 5 that the majority of my heritage, the European inside of me, had battered and destroyed the other part of my heritage, the native. That majority took away the native's land and have done anything and everything to it.
He got everybody he could to come up and sign the rolls and say, they were Cherokee. Well, there was white folks that signed that roll. There were black folks that signed that roll. There were people that I know of down in Cookson Hills, down below Tahlequah, that are pretty much full-blood Cherokee, that their great-granddad didn't want to sign anything. Understandably, I'm not signing anything. So therefore they're not recognized as Cherokee. Yet they are almost full-blood.
That's so odd to me.
It is odd.
That majority has stomped on everything they stand for, every prophecy, and every belief.
There were some universal, attitudes towards life that you can see. How we treated the land, what we thought of that. The seventh generation, the idea of that is we should leave things as pristine as we can because it's actually owned. Everything here is for the seventh generation ahead of us. And it should be left so that they will inherit that, whatever we leave them. And so we need to leave it as good as if not better than the way we found it.
Is climate change real? Are we really adding so many pollutants that we are creating a hole in a layer that we need to survive? Currently, society is split on if this is real or not.
Perhaps it's Ivanka welcoming these climate kooks to offset her dad's skepticism.
So I figured I could go to a climate scientist and they would know, but I soon found out that this issue has so much controversy that they could not give a straightforward answer.
When it comes to climate change and global warming, not all scientists agree. There are numerous studies that do show the potential is there that climate change or global warming is occurring. There are some as well that show that it is not. When it comes to determining whether it is occurring or not, that is something that should be left up to the individual to doing their own due diligence and doing their research on their own and making up their own mind.
After interviewing Gene, I really took his opinion to heart. I decided to make it my mission to talk to as many people and go to as many places to find out more. One of the places my mission brought me to was the John Twitty Energy Center. a coal-burning power plant here in Springfield, Missouri. When I got there, I was shocked. There were pools of water filled with coal residue and mounds of carbon everywhere. After being outside for a while, I went into the main building where the coal was being converted. I grabbed the railing to keep my balance while walking up the stairs. When I looked at my hand after the tour, I was devastated. My entire hand was black. There was so much carbon emissions in the air, it coated everything in black soot. At that moment, my opinion was validated. I knew this is real. This thing I've been studying for 4 months is real.
Inherently, I know that coal may not pose as big of an issue as many would say it does. And for that reason, I'm still in support of using coal for as long as we have it. I think there should be common sense regulations to make sure that coal's presence doesn't emit so much carbon that it significantly harms the international community or its environment. But I also think that it's naive to say that we're going to avoid using coal for the rest of our lives. Clearly, it's inevitable we're going to use it. The question is whether we use it efficiently and whether we have replacements for when that coal runs out.
I may not have the same opinion as Connor, but Connor is a student body leader. In fact, the student body president, so his opinion was one that definitely needed to be included. Much like Missouri's 7th District Congressman, Billy Long, one of our nation's leading Republicans. Congressman Long has had a very interesting opinion about climate change. So when I asked him what he thought was causing climate change and what to do to change that, he stuck with that interesting opinion.
You don't know exactly what's causing it, but anything that man is doing to contribute to that, we should I'll make an honest effort to cut back on. People get caught up in the nuanced things of, well, is man causing it or not, and it's happening, it's not happening. The world's evolving. Whatever we can do to provide more clean energy, we should do.
We may not all agree that pebbles are responsible for the lake ripple, but when we, us, the pebbles, are put 7,000 feet below the earth, we all want to have that perfect fit that allows the puzzle to continue.
Well, it's always good to go to green energy anytime that you can. I mean, anytime you can do something to help the environment, you should do that. So it's good to be making the switch over, but you can't do it overnight.
Over the past few years, here in Springfield, we have tried to make that switch to green energy that Congressman Long was talking about. The director of our renewable energy, Kara Schaefer, was happy to explain.
Back in 2012, we were approached by a solar vendor looking to develop a solar farm for us. We went out to bid, got 4 bids in, and they were pretty different across the board. But we wanted to go ahead and look at a utility scale solar farm since we knew the price of solar had come down so much over the years. And this was a good opportunity for us to try it. We went ahead and went with a company called Strata Solar out of North Carolina. They had done a lot of similar projects like this and felt comfortable, got a good 25-year contract with them, and decided to go ahead and build this scale of a solar farm.
When I asked Kara why she was doing this, she had a very meaningful answer.
I wanted to tell somebody 100 years from now why we're doing is just because all of this matters. You know, we have to have the resources in a balanced mix. Anything that we can do to reduce our carbon emissions, we know has an impact going forward. And just by installing the solar farm today, 0 emissions, what we're doing with the wind energy, what we're doing on the efficiency side of things is hopefully going to make this a very livable community going forward.
I, Desiree Nixon, the Pebble. We, the 7 billion humans on this earth, we choose that next puzzle, the next fit, for the next 7 generations.